Good morning and welcome back. This morning on Public Affairs on Peach, we are putting the spotlight on bullying. According to recent statistics, gay and lesbian teenagers are 2 to 3 times more likely to commit suicide than other kids. And get this, 9 out of 10 LGBT teens have reported being bullied at school in just the past year because of their sexual orientation. It is that crisis that has sparked the It Gets Better campaign. Take a listen.
Here's what I can say. When you're young, when you're in elementary school or when you're in high school, it's important to try and fit in and be accepted and to be part of the average. Everyone does it, that's the way it goes. But let me assure you, if you're getting bullied and you're feeling like you're on the outskirts, that it gets better.
Of course, that is Neil Patrick Harris right there, one of countless celebrities that have stepped up to speak out about bullying, especially gay bullying. Many states are now stepping in to stop bullying among kids and teenagers. Joining me this morning is Charlie Statlander. He has helped craft Missouri's anti-bullying legislation and was consulted as an expert here in Georgia. Charlie, good morning to you. Thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it. And your background as well. You're a teacher. Yes, and sir. We appreciate that insight that you're going to be giving us this morning. We have seen states all over the U.S. come up with these laws and really create legislation, these anti-bullying legislations. Have we seen in some of the states here where bullying is getting a little bit better, where things are starting to get more under control compared to states that have really taken a step backwards and not embraced these anti-bullying laws?
I think that's a great question. Georgia just recently passed the anti-bullying legislation here, so I think it's a little bit too soon to tell whether or not the anti-bullying legislation in Georgia is having an impact. I do believe, though, that these anti-bullying laws or legislation that we're talking about actually do have a significant impact in bringing awareness to the issue and also providing schools and administrators as well as students with a vehicle to be able to help end bullying in their schools.
You're a teacher. You're kind of there on the front lines. You're seeing these kids in and out of the classroom. You're seeing their behaviors. Some people out there, some parents would say, you know what? Kids are going to be kids. They're going to tease each other. This has been happening for generations and generations. My parents, my grandparents, they all dealt with teasing and bullying in schools. Is bullying suddenly different now than it was back then, or are we just trying to attack a problem differently now?
I think that you raised two good points. The first point is that times have changed, and bullying is much different now than what it used to be. I was a victim of bullying. It was very severe. I wish that someone would have helped me. I don't think that the opponents to these types of anti-bullying legislations that say kids are going to just be kids are really acknowledging that that is an effective way of dealing with the problem. Unfortunately, kids being just kids in today's time of technological advances and just so many avenues to be able to further bullying against people is now time to really step up and to deal with the problem.
You had a very big hand in certainly the anti-bullying laws that passed in Missouri and the anti-bullying campaign that was passed here in Georgia. For those who are watching right now, okay, what constitutes as bullying right now? We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have social media that is out there, and all kids these days, they all got their iPhones, they've got their technology, they're constantly on these social media networks. It doesn't take much to blast a schoolmate and make that your news feed for the day. Do these laws protect kids from social media bullying? Because that's a big channel, I guess you could say, that kids are out there bullying other students.
It is. It's probably the fastest growing method of bullying that is occurring in today's schools. And I do believe that these laws are designed to, and one of the reasons that they're coming forward now is to tackle the problem of social networking types of bullying. I do also believe, though, that it's going to take an attitude change. It's not, we can pass as much legislation as we want to try to tackle these problems, but until the attitudes of our students, and particularly of our parents, actually change, then the problem of bullying is not going to go away.
And where does the role of teacher and parent come into play with trying to stop bullying from happening? Because again, some people would say to you, listen, schools can do whatever they want. They can run as many anti-bullying campaigns as they want. But unless the parents have an active role at home and they don't allow their children to exemplify some of the behavior that's happening at school at home, it's not going to stop.
That's exactly right. I mean, kids are not born knowing how to hate anyone. That's a behavior that they are taught. And once they come to the school, the teacher is now dealing with behaviors that these students have already been taught at home. And so I believe, as a teacher and as a person who believes that bullying needs to end and is a severe problem, that this must start at home. We must start with the parents taking responsibility and acknowledging that this is a problem, and teaching their kids acceptance, and teaching their kids that it is not okay to bully.
All right, you're working with kids, you're meeting with their parents. How have parents been? Have they been receptive to the new laws that have passed here in Georgia, or have you had a little bit of pushback from some parents?
You know, it's been both. You get parents that are completely receptive and completely appreciative of the laws, and they believe in them wholly. And then you also have those types of parents that believe that the laws are overreaching, and it's the state reaching into the home and telling parents how they need to parent. But one thing is for sure, and that is bullying is occurring, and students are not born knowing how to hate and knowing how to bully. They are taught this, and until parents step up and take responsibility and teach their students, or teach their children rather, that this is unacceptable behavior, the schools must do something, because as we can see, it's an epidemic that is really, really dangerous.
We heard from Tyrell earlier on the show that he went to his teachers to tell them that kids were making fun of him. He didn't go home and tell his mom. As with me, when I was a kid, I didn't go home and tell my mom. You trust your teacher almost in a sense, because you're almost scared to tell your parents and your family. Is that something that you're seeing there? What are some of the warning signs a parent can look out for to find out if their child's being bullied?
That is a great question, and unfortunately with some of these laws that have been passed, the enforcement mechanisms are somewhat weak, particularly in states that are a little bit more conservative. In the South, we see that the laws are a little bit more weak in their nature. But what I do tell students like Tyrell, and what I do tell parents such as Tyrell's parents and others, is that you must continue to advocate for your cause. You cannot allow yourself to continue to be bullied. You must tell someone. And if you don't get the answer that you like, or if you don't get the help that you need when you report that problem, you need to escalate it up, all the way up to and including the superintendent, if necessary, of your school.
Yeah, it's got to be a team effort here with the teachers at the schools as well as the parents. All right, Charlie Statlander, we appreciate you coming in here and giving us your insight as to what it's like inside the classroom. All right, stay with us. We'll be right back after this commercial break. This morning we have been talking about bullying. As a parent, there are certain things to look out for that you can alert a problem to. Here's a look at some of those warning signs that we've been talking about this half hour. Your child comes home with damaged or missing clothing. Your child has unexplained injuries. There may be a problem if your child has trouble sleeping, changes in eating habits, or loses interest in visiting or talking with friends. On the flip side, there are signs to spot a bully, someone who becomes violent with others. The bully may have extra money or new belongings that can't be explained, or someone who needs to win or be the best at everything. Again, there is help out there available if you or someone you know is being bullied. Call Georgia's School Safety Hotline at 1-877-SAY-STOP. That'll do it for this week's edition of Public Affairs on Peach. We'll see you back here next Sunday morning. Have a great weekend.